Chapter 10, Personal Finance. In this video, we're going to talk about present value and future value, which is a way to figure out how much you'd have to invest today in the present in order to figure out how much money you'd have in the future. So the present value of a future sum is the amount that would be needed today in order to get you to that future investment. And the future value of a sum is the amount of the sum would be worth in a future date after it's been allowed to earn interest over a period of time. So let's do an example. Let's say you deposit $100 into the bank. The bank is currently paying 5% interest. Now that interest is compounded. So compounded means that when you add interest 1 year, and then the next year you earn the 5% interest on the $105. And then it continues to compound over time. So in general, your equation is future value equals present value times 1 plus the interest rate to the nth power. And n means how many years that we're going to compound the interest. So if I want to know what my future value of my investment is, if I put in presently $100, it is an interest rate of 5%. N would be the number of years that we would be investing in this particular deposit at the bank. So let's say that N were 10 years. So if I plug 10 years in, then my $100 would be worth $162.89 10 years from today. You can also solve backwards. If I want to know, let's say the future value, let's say that I want to retire when I'm 65 and I want to have $1 million when I retire at 65. That's what my future value of my money is. I can figure out N would be how many years I have between my current age and retirement. Present value would be how much I'd have to put into a certain investment. And then, of course, I'd have to know the average rate that investment grows over time. But sometimes you can solve backwards for present value as well. Compounding interest is really important because it's the accumulation of a sum of money where interest is earned on the sum of the money over time. And you continually get interest added to a larger and larger growing principal of money. Compounding interest is really beneficial to young people because you have more years to compound interest before you want to retire or before you are middle-aged and want to buy a house or want to buy a second home or send your kids to college. If you, as a young person, were to put money into a interest-bearing account today and just let it assume to compound interest and not withdraw any money from it, you will be far better off in your middle ages and in retirement than somebody who waited until they were earning a decent amount of money before they started saving. So compounded interest is really important for young people, and it's super important for savings. Young people just have more years available for compounding interest. So compounding means that small differences in interest rates can lead to huge differences in how much money you're gaining over time. So let's say today I buy $1,000 worth of Microsoft stock and I want to hold on to it for 30 years. If I know on average how much Microsoft stock performs, let's say 10% a year, then the future value of my current $1,000 will be $17,450 30 years from now. So if you have $1,000 to buy an investment today that's returning 10% interest, 30 years from now, you're not going to have just $1,000. You're going to have more than $17,000. So that is a huge amount of money for you basically buying $1,000 of something today and just doing nothing with it but wait.